So, I'm back, viewers. This bike it was originally an 883. I bought a 1200 kit for it. My son fitted it, probably 15 years ago, maybe less, something like that. And because it'd been sitting so long, I wanted to pull it apart. And lucky I did. There was just a fraction of rust starting. No, hardly any. And it still had oil in there. But I have pulled it apart and cleaned it all. But I thought I might show you a few little tricks, or the things you need to know maybe. I'm going to check the compression too. So I actually have the means to CC the heads. So I'm going to CC the heads. But that'll be the next one. We'll CC the heads. But today, I would mainly like to talk about the arrows on the pistons. I guess first you have to understand what it means, why they're there. I'm just going to move my camera. I've just hooked it to the back of the chair. Oh, beautiful. Okay. I've got a Sharpie because you wouldn't be able to see it. But that's the way the arrow goes. This is my piston for the 1200 kit. So it's got recesses in it. This is to drop the compression, otherwise it'd be off its head. It'd be 13 to 1 or something stupid. But the arrow, that's what we're talking about. So why is the arrow there? So Harley offsets the gudgeon pin or wrist pin to one side. So it's a little bit to one side. So this is so when the piston is at top dead centre, as high as it's going to get, don't go out of the screen, the crankshaft has gone actually just past centre because of this offset. So the crankshaft is already on the way down. So it's happy when it gets that bump. It's happy, it's wanting to go that way. That's why Harley does it. There's other reasons for arrows, like this. See, this piston's like a custom piston, and it has the, a shape in there. Well, some of them have real wild shapes and bumps on them to up the compression that match the shape of the combustion chamber. So in that case, you need to know which way the arrow goes so you don't go crunch the first time you try and turn it over. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that does. So, if I'm going to CC the heads, I also have to CC the piston. I have to know how much is hiding in here to get my compression ratio. But, so, back to the arrow. So this is how I test mine. So I've built, this is the piston for the 1200 kit. This is a factory Harley piston out of a 1340 Evo. So I have two wrist pins, the right size, and now I'm going to see if it's an offset piston. So I've built a little, can you see, I've just built a stack out of anything I could find. So I've got these cut-off wheels, I counted the same amount, the two tapes are the same thickness. So I've just built a little stack, and I've got two gudgeon pins. This one I've been lazy, I don't want to pull the circlips out. So I've just poked them in the side. This is obvious, so there's no question about which way this is. So I've got it on there. See the piston's rocking. Righto, I'll flip him over. Now the piston's hitting the bottom and the pins are rocking. So this is the long side. So the arrow is the long side. So the long side goes to the front of the engine. Yeah, that makes sense because so the gudgeon pin's a little bit behind centre as it's coming around. So that means that the crankshaft will be just past the centre line when it goes. Anyhow, let's check the other one. This is the one that I'm putting back. I'm checking my son because he put it together, but he's never been wrong before, so he had the arrows pointing apart, whereas I think Harley has them pointing forward. Now I'm checking this one. Now I built the stack originally just for this one, so I've got no rocket there at all. It's no movement. I'll flip him over. Same. I've got no rock, no movement. So that one's in the centre of the piston, which that's like how most engines are built, with it in the centre. So they've decided to put it in the centre. So looking at the shape of that, I think it wouldn't matter which way the arrows went. The only thing, one of these recesses might be deeper than the other or bigger than the other. For the valve, the inlet valve will be bigger. To me, they sort of look the same. I'll get a vernier. But it's a casting, bit hard to measure a casting. Yeah, nearest fuck is to swearing. Yep, that's yeah. So you can put that piston either way, I would think. Maybe one's deeper. Tight. Maybe one's deeper. Oh, there you go. One is deeper. One is deeper. No, it isn't. I didn't do it properly. You got to do it where it's not getting a size off the radius. No, they're the same. So this piston doesn't matter. So I'll put it back the same way my son had it, with the front one arrow facing forward and the back one arrow facing rear, because he's never been wrong. That's probably, he would have had the paperwork, the instructions. All right, let's do it. Over and out. But I'll be back soon. Don't, you'll come back now.